All right, let's dive into a simple but honestly a really powerful idea. The belief that the first few minutes of your day don't just start your day, they pretty much define it. This whole concept is called the morning rule, and it's all about how you can take back control of your day and, ultimately your life.
And this quote right here, this is the core principle. It's not just a nice little suggestion, it's a challenge. The source material basically presents this as a non negotiable truth. It's like either you take charge right from the very beginning, or you're going to spend the entire rest of the day just reacting to whatever life throws at you.
So, why is owning the morning so critical? Well, because if you don't, you get thrown straight into what we're calling the daily chaos. And this is the reality for most of us, right? It's just this state of constant reaction. I mean, let's be real, life is incredibly noisy. The source puts it perfectly. Sometimes the stress can hit you before you've even had your first sip of coffee. Just think about it for a second. The traffic, the urgent emails pinging, the deadlines that seem to just pop up out of nowhere. The day starts, and immediately it feels like it's already running away from you. And this is the question we really have to ask ourselves. When your day is just this whirlwind of other people's demands, are you really the one steering the ship, or are you just getting tossed around by the waves? The good news is, there is a time of day when you still have complete and total control. And that brings us to the really elegant solution presented here, the morning rule. This isn't some complicated, crazy productivity system. Nope. It's a simple, foundational practice that's designed to just anchor your entire day. And check this out. This is all it takes. Notice, it doesn't say you have to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m., just 15 minutes earlier than you normally do. Find a quiet spot, grab a notebook, and define your number one most important priority for the day. And then, and this is the crucial part, you take the very first step to prepare for it. So what does preparing actually look like? Well, this makes it super tangible. It's not just about thinking, it's about initiating action. So if your priority is financial, you draft that sales plan. If it's about fitness, you literally write down the workout and what you're going to eat. Business growth, you identify one strategic move. What you're doing is creating clarity and momentum before the chaos even has a chance to start. But the morning rule is just the beginning. It's really the foundation for a complete system for navigating your entire day. It just sets the stage for a much more intentional approach to everything that comes after. And this simple timeline illustrates the entire philosophy perfectly. The day gets broken down into 3 phases, and each one has a specific purpose. You start with control in the morning. Then you shift to cope during that midday chaos, and you end your day with protect in the evening. It's such a powerful mantra for finding some balance. Okay, let's zoom in on that cope phase for a second. The source material is super clear about this. You cannot control the midday chaos. You can't control the traffic, or a difficult customer, or a sudden deadline. But what you can always control is how you react. There's a huge psychological power in that shift. You're accepting you can't control the storm, only how you navigate it. And because you already set your priority in the morning, you have an anchor. You're no longer just reacting, you're responding with purpose. And finally, we get to the protect phase. The evening isn't for catching up on the work you missed. It's for intentionally disconnecting and focusing on what truly counts. This is your time to recharge through family, genuine rest, finding some peace, and just reflecting on the day. This part is just as vital as the morning for your long-term success and well-being. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's only 15 minutes. What real difference can that possibly make? Well, that's where the real magic happens. See, it's not about one morning. It's about the compounding power of doing it every single day. Just think about this simple math. A small, almost negligible amount of time. Just 15 minutes a day. But what happens when you multiply that over an entire year? What does that consistent investment really add up to? 91 hours. That's what it adds up to. Let that sink in for a second. 91 hours of time that you've reclaimed from the chaos, dedicated entirely to focused, proactive thinking. So what do those 91 hours really mean? As the source material puts it, that's like getting an extra 2 full work weeks of pure, uninterrupted planning time every single year. Can you imagine what you could accomplish with that kind of deep thinking, completely free from distractions? That is the power of this tiny habit. And you know what? It all just comes back to this. This is the simple, repeatable framework for building a more balanced, productive, and successful life. You control what you can in the morning, you cope with what you can't in the afternoon, and you protect what matters most in the evening. So the only question left is the one that puts this all into action for you. Forget about next week or next month. Just think about tomorrow. When you sit down for those 15 minutes, what is the number one thing you're going to write down?